Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So, following the 2020 election, Donald Hartle, who always also goes by the name of Kirk Hartle, made the rounds on right-wing media, and they just love to use him as evidence of Democratic voter fraud. Hartle, if you haven't heard, he's a 55-year-old man from Nevada. He claimed that he was just shocked to find that someone used his deceased wife's ballot. Hartle's wife, Rosemary, had sadly passed away in 2017 after battling breast cancer, yet her ballot was somehow cast in the 2020 election. And her husband said that he never saw her ballot. He claimed that it just never arrived. And in an interview with a local news outlet, Hartle said, quote, "That is pretty sickening to me, to be honest with you. It was disbelief. It made no sense to me, but it lent some credence to what you've been hearing in the media about these possibilities and how it makes me wonder how pervasive is this." So this story, as you can imagine, was just widely shared. It became huge. Even the Republican Nevada State Party tweeted about this. They actually quoted Hartle's statements and they wrote, quote, "Disbelief and sickening. That's how Kirk Hartle felt about someone voting in his deceased wife's name. How did the forged signature pass Clark County, Nevada's signature verification machine? And this isn't the only case of a deceased person voting in Nevada." That tweet came after Tucker Carlson had Hartle on his faux news show and gave his best, concerned look with his furrowed eyebrows and slow shaking of his head as he does. Oh my gosh, how could this happen? Anyway, at the end of the interview with Carlson said, quote, "We don't know who did this. We wish we did because it's fraud." Yeah, it is, Tucker. Who could be that sick and twisted, right? Who would be that sick to use the ballot of a dead woman to vote in the election? A woman who likely experienced extraordinary pain in her final days on earth, pain that her family had to witness when they had to say their final goodbyes to her. And then, less than 3 years later, someone tried to use her death to their advantage for political gain, no less. I know what that feels like. I lost my mother to stage 4 breast cancer in 2018 after taking care of her in the final 6 weeks of her life. I know what that does to the people who are left behind, and I know how they suffer. I know how the patient suffers. I know how the family suffers. Well, it looks like Rosemary was married to a sick fuck and a liar, because Hartle was charged on October 2nd. Hartle was charged with crimes for submitting his wife's ballot, one of which is a Category D felony that carries a sentence of up to 4 years in prison. So Hartle took a plea deal. He saw the writing on the wall. I saw on a show, I don't have any other source for this, but I saw a journalist say that he had heard that they have text messages and other evidence against this guy. So he opted for the plea deal. He admitted to one count of voting more than once in an election in order to avoid jail time. And in court, he told the judge, quote, "I would like to say that I accept full responsibility for my actions and regret them, and I'm thankful for your consideration." How his tune has changed. So Judge Carly Kearney presided over Hartle's sentencing hearing, and she told him, quote, "Ultimately, to me, this seems like a cheap political stunt that kind of backfired and shows that our voting system actually works because you were ultimately caught." So the judge ended up sentencing Hartle to 1 year of probation and a $2,000 fine. I'm sure that's going to keep other people from doing it in the future. And this is sickening that this guy is basically getting away with it, considering he used his own crime to push a narrative about voter fraud. How many people, I wonder, heard his story, believed his story, watched him on Tucker Carlson and on other news shows, and then because of his story and others like it, and the lies that were being told by Trump and others, how many of the people at the Capitol were incited to go there because of stuff like this? So, and you won't be surprised to hear that Hartle is the chief financial officer for a company that hosted a rally for Trump. They were also cited for violating COVID protocols, and they recently hosted a QAnon conference in Vegas. Yeah, that's who this guy is. And you know what I find funny in retrospect is that when he was on all of these shows, I don't recall them asking him, well, who was your wife's ballot cast for? Who did they say she voted for? Or whoever this person was who submitted her ballot. Did they vote for Joe Biden? Funny how they never bring that up, isn't it? So this is now the second Trump supporter to use their deceased wife's ballot in the 2020 election. The other one, as you guys may recall, because I did a show on it, is even more egregious. Barry Morphew, who's currently facing charges for the disappearance and suspected first-degree murder of his wife, Suzanne, admitted to investigators that he cast her ballot for Trump 6 months after her disappearance. And he said it was because, quote, I wanted Trump to win. I just thought, give him another vote. And then he said, quote, all these other guys are cheating. I mean, if true, if the allegations against him are true, obviously he's a sociopath. So yeah. Anyway, I'll let you guys know if I hear anything new about this case or any of the others. But in the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.